What is going on, FT3000? Back in the place to be, and welcome to the newest game brought to you by NeoWiz, Master of Knights. So Master of Knights is a brand new grid-based strategy RPG that attempts to do a few things differently than other grid-based or even gacha games out there. Now, whether those things are different good or different bad is up to you. One thing I will tell you that's different bad is this cluttered UI, dude. I thought we was past this. It's actually not that bad. So let's start off with a few of the heroes you can collect, and this is where we can start talking about some of the aspects of this game that set itself apart from other grid-based and gacha games out there. The very first thing being that this game has a conditional skill system. Now, when you think about other gacha games out there, you know, when you want to do a skill, as long as it's not on cooldown, you press the button and you do a skill. However, in this game, there's certain conditions that you have to fulfill before you can do a skill. So for example, this character right over here, Valkyrie, in order to do her ability called Noose of Truth, bruh, that's a little dark, you have to do 3 attacks first. This next little character over here, her ability is called Drowning Flower, and this is only usable after you've moved 3 times. Another example is Lancelot and his ability called Lake's Grace. This is only usable after you've been hit 3 times. And all of this is going to make sense once we actually jump into the combat flow. Now, as far as the overall campaign flow, very straightforward. You're going to go from stage to stage to stage, but you don't have to worry about 3 stars or anything like that. As long as you win, and you keep on moving. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on the setup screen. This is all going to make way more sense once we're actually in combat. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into combat. Now, the very first thing you're going to notice is that the overall grid is quite a bit smaller than most other grid-based gacha games out there. But just like in most grid-based strategy RPGs, depending on the character class is going to dictate your attack range. So you can see right here, here's my archer. She can attack 2 blocks in front of her, on top of her, or below her. You compare that to my wizard, where her attack range is only straight in front of her up to 3 blocks. Warrior class, of course, makes sense. You can only do things that are in melee range, but not behind you. And then quite uniquely is the thief. They can't actually hit anyone in front of them. They can only hit enemies behind them. So hopefully that starts to give you an idea of what the ebb and flow of combat's gonna look like in this game. Basically, it's a tug of war between you and your opponent as you try to exploit their blind spots while trying to protect your own, right? So let's go ahead and get started. We'll use our tank over here. We'll move down to this little tile over here. This is a warrior, so I can hit this enemy right in front of me, smack you in the face, and I can start building up my skill, right? Because I just got hit in the face. If I get hit a few more times, I can actually use my guardian shield. We'll do the same thing over here, get my tanks up in the front line, start kind of protecting my squishies in the back. I'm gonna move you down 1 tile, and now I'm out of movement points or AP, so I'll go ahead and end my turn. Now you also have some summoner abilities as well, which I'll show you here in a second. So we'll let our enemies do their thing here. Looking pretty good, not too bad, and now it's my turn. So I'm gonna do kind of the same exact thing here. I'm gonna move my tank up here, smack you in the face. I'm gonna move my mage up here. Remember, she's a wizard, so she can do a straight line nuke right over here from safety. Good dommage there. Now, once again, my thief, I can't hit this guy in front, so I'm gonna kind of re-maneuver him around a bit. And I'm going to, I think I'm gonna move my rogue up there, and now we'll start doing some of our summoner abilities, right? So this summoner ability costs 0. I'm gonna go ahead and cast it. It's explosion, a pretty pitiful amount of damage, but you know what? We're gonna do it anyway. I left my wizard completely exposed up there, so I'm gonna move her up here, smack you in the face, and then now we'll go ahead and end our turn. Let's see what the enemy does. And you can see my little tanks here, they're starting to glow. That means I can actually activate my skill. The condition has been conditioned, my friends. So you're about to die. That's not good at all. But once again, no 3 stars. You don't have to worry about it. So we'll go ahead and cast her skill. There's Flame Blade, which gives her the ability of, guess what? Her blade is a flame now. We'll go ahead and go down here, smack you in the face. You're probably gonna die in a retaliation, but no big deal there. We'll go ahead and use Tatiana's Guardian Shield. That is good. Mind Destruction. This is like a stun. I'll go ahead and stun you over there. Move you down. We'll finish off this enemy. That's an easy clap. I still haven't really used my thief at all. I've had him in bad positions this entire time. But you know what? We're gonna get this figured out. Actually, we're just gonna move him way down here. This is the great thing about Thief. Dude, they can just bounce around the entire map. Move you way down here. We'll smack you in the face that way. And I still have my rogue and like my thief in some really bad positions. But if I move you up here, I can do a little bit of damage, shoot you in the face, end our turn. Let's keep it going. The game does have autoplay as well. How good it is? I mean, it's not terrible per se, but there's definitely some situations like I think right now where you'd be much better off playing this bad boy on manual play. But I'll go ahead and see if they can't pull it off here. I have no healers on my team at the moment, just haven't really needed them because once again, it doesn't matter if like the entire team dies. As long as you win, you move on to the next stage. This game does have idle functionality, so you definitely want to keep pushing towards your stages. Go as far into the campaign as possible because that's going to give you more idleness while you're offline. But I do love the fact that, and I hope to see more games do stuff like this. Dude, I'm tired of 3-starring, baby. Like, when it comes to RPGs, when it comes to like single player RPGs, the most fun has always been barely winning in an encounter, but in gacha games, barely winning is basically losing because you got a 1-star. But here, doesn't matter who dies, as long as you win, you're done, you move on to the next stage. We'll go ahead and leave that loading screen in just so you can get a feel for it. Do keep in mind I am on emulator. So that's that, right? Pretty straightforward. Beat the stages, move on, increase your idle rewards. There's normal as well as hard difficulty. Now, as far as your auxiliary gameplay modes, those can all be found, get this, outside, but not in real life. Don't worry, don't panic. All right, step away from the grass slowly. All your different gameplay modes are right over here in the outside tab. We're going to start off with the daily dungeon. You have definitely seen things like this before. We'll go ahead and do one real fast. And with this gameplay mode, you do have a little bit of roguelite features here. So every few stages that you defeat, you can then select a buff. I'm gonna go for the warrior buff and keep it moving. So that's the daily dungeon. I assume the weekly dungeon functions exactly the same. It's just bigger. And then we have the Tower of Ordeals. Now this is something that is quite a bit different. I'm gonna go ahead and edit my team, do an auto formation, save that, let's go. Now, forget everything I've explained when it comes to the grid-based strategy RPG-ness of this game, right? You forgot it? Everything gone? All right, how about an idle combat system? Dude, so in this tower, it has nothing to do with any of the grid-based strategy RPG-ness of the game. It's just your characters fighting the enemy, like in an idle game. Quite interesting, a little different. Beyond that, you have the Tower of Symbols. This looks like some type of, like faction or class-based tower or something like that. Sub-story, and then you have Collection. Now, as far as PvP, you have a ton of options, right? You have Coliseum, Arena, Mayhem, Practice Arena. We're gonna jump into Coliseum. Here we go once again with like idle combat, which, it's not the worst idea ever. It's kind of hard to balance grid-based strategy RPG PvP against someone that's not playing live. And when it is live PvP, it's a little slow. So I guess this is kind of like a smart way to kind of sidestep that whole issue, right? Like, you know what? We're not gonna do grid-based PvP. We're just gonna do idle PvP. I guess it works. So that is pretty much the game, right? You have your adventure, you have the outside gameplay modes, the arena, world raid I don't have unlocked at the moment, and there is a little bit of guild functionality, so I joined a guild called Them Boys. So let's, for the first time together, the guild boss in question is Beelzebub, and he has a little halo on his head. That's a little different. And just like in all gacha games when it comes to guild bosses, do as much damage as you possibly can and get rewards. So let's go ahead and end the video off as we always do with a nice little summon session. But before we do that, one thing I did like very early on in the game, you can form a contract with the character of your choice. I selected the merwoman because, dude, when's the last time you used a mermaid in a gacha game? Not too often. So I formed a contract with this character here. So as long as I'm logging in, I'm gonna get free rewards. And it looks like I should be able to get this character on day 7. Hopefully 10 fragments is enough to summon her. I have no idea, but on day 7 and day 14, I'm gonna get fragments for this character. I like that. So a character of your choice, you're guaranteed to get them as long as you log on. All right, so as far as banners are concerned, you have the new user festival. That's the one I'm gonna go for. You have the female Astaroth from Soul Calibur on this banner here, a generic banner, spells, which I didn't talk about too much in this video, but we'll talk about a little bit more here in a second. All right, let's go ahead and do the new user festival. festival. Touch that, let that full summon animation play out. Nothing too special though. Is this the past? Nah, dude, it's the present. Oh, hey, it's Tesla. All right, very interesting. We'll go through a few of these characters here. Oh, she looks very awesome. I like the tattered robes. What a cool, oh, she's like a prisoner. Oh, she's a common? Wow, that's actually really good art for a common character. This guy over here sniffing his finger for some reason, dude. I ain't trying to sniff your finger. Oh, treasure, where are you? This is one of the, yeah, I already have Sia. She's a treasure hunter. Who else we got here? Percival, another common. He looks common. But this character here, she looks so much better than your typical common character. Dude, that's unfortunate. This guy, Herman, the retired veteran dude, he had to get dragged back into the war. He looks common. But everybody else, yeah, just a bunch of commons here. Let's go ahead and skip these. Yeah, everybody else is going to be common. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and burn my gems too. Don't show this anymore. I forgot to click on it. Skill issue. Sometimes it's hard, dude. Oh, very, very cool weapon design here. I don't even know what those are, but I like them. They're like floating cufflinks of some sort. With this next summon, we got Brunhild, who is not my type of character. Lolly and a furry mixed in one. I'm good. And then, oh, we do get one rainbow pool. Let's see what we got. The floating city in the sky. And she's just all right. Oh, we got two? Did we get two rainbows? Hold on. We, also not really my type of character either, Sonya. Dude, that was a triple rainbow of characters I don't care about. All right, so very straightforward when it comes to upgrading your characters, and I did just find out it does take 20 fragments to summon a character, so you're gonna have to log in for 14 days to get that full contracted hero that you select. But I really like this character design, right? You got the vines in her hair, big massive shield, and a mace. Very cool character. Leveling up is very straightforward. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, this game does have idle functionality, so you'll level up your characters, you'll eventually hit, dude, I'm holding down the button. There we go. Eventually you'll hit a breakthrough level. This is gonna require this little special dust. You'll break through, and then you'll be able to continue leveling to the next breakthrough. As far as equipment, I only have 2 equipment slots unlocked at the moment. There is an auto equip function right over there. Very, very easy. And as you get duplicates, you can increase your stats and your skill power. And it looks like there are some universal fragments as well. And just real quick, I'll see if there's a different summon animation for the spells. There is. This is my first time doing a spell summon. So it actually looks better than the character summon. And what do we get here? We have, and these are going to be your summoner abilities, right? So you can switch these out if you choose to. Cluster Explosion inflicts damage in a cross-shaped area. If the target's HP is 50% or lower, inflict additional damage. And now you can see here, included in the spells that I'm bringing to combat is my brand new spell, Cluster Explosion. So that will do it, my friends. A nice little look at Master of Knights, NeoWiz's newest little twist on the grid-based strategy RPG formula. Does it do it for me? Not really, but it could do it for you. Who knows? My name is FG, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.